How are you, Rustin? Buggy from Alarm for War. How are you, sir?
I am doing fantastic. Buggy, how is everything in your world?
Well, you know what? Staying busy over here at Alarm for War, but other than that, just glad to be here, glad to be talking to you on the phone, and just excited to get out there and rock this thing with the people.
Absolutely. You guys are gearing up for some dates on the Make America Rock Again tour. That has to be pretty exciting for you.
You know what? It really is, and just very happy to be, out there just, supporting those bands, Johnny Pool, Trap, Sunshine of Creed and stuff like that. So just excited to get out there. Very pleased to be playing with those bands.
Well, we're looking forward to getting a chance to see you here on a couple of the upcoming dates over here in the Pacific Northwest. So for those who are not familiar with Alarm for War yet, give us a little backstory on the band.
Well, you know what? Alarm for War is kind of a Rage Against the Machine on steroids, as we like to call it here at Alarm for War. Kind of like a Alice in Chains style singing, kind of like a Pantera. They've been compared to Tech 9 before as well. So we're just kind of like a hardcore rap metal band that is simply sticking up for the youth of this nation, because as musicians, we feel it's our job to, stick up for the young people, because in a lot of ways today, the young people have been, as we say in kind of youth talk, they've been throwing a lot of crap. So we're here giving them the positive message of hope and truth, kind of giving them the other side of the spectrum. Kind of like the song, If I Can Go to Daytime Tonight. It's about a kid named Zach. He was hooked on drugs, and he was told to stop, or one day it just might cost him his life. After doing drugs in the bathroom, he was found dead on the floor. Standing around his dead body, someone in the crowd shouted out, "Well, where's your God at now?" Someone else in the crowd replied, "The same place he was when he was warning him." So in other words, just telling the young people, drugs is not the way to, you don't have to do that kind of stuff and stuff like that. So just sticking up for the young people, through what better way to do it than music? Every teenager I see nowadays is on their phone listening to music and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So, and of course, for those who don't know, you're 13 right now. You sort of got pulled into all of this at the ripe old age of 12. How did all of that come about?
Well, I was in the studio with the seasoned singer on a separate project, and I was just sitting on the couch watching him, because I just always liked music, and I was just watching him, and I was singing along with what he was doing, on the breaks, and he noticed I was singing on key with what he was doing. He said, "Hey, you need to get this kid in here to do backups with me." So I thought that was pretty cool, not really thinking anything of it. I'm like, "Yeah, just get backups with the singer." So I thought that was cool. And then after that, I was asked, "Hey, can you do these songs?" And then after doing it in the studio, everything went really smooth, and everybody seemed to really like it. So keep in mind, as you said earlier, I was 12 years old at the time. I'm now 13, so I recorded half of it at the age of 12 and the other half at the age of 13.
When did you discover you had this natural gift for rap?
Well, you know what? I kind of always liked rap. That's kind of been my main thing. I really like that whiny kind of singing from Alice in Chains, too. So, after him noticing that I was singing right on key with what he was doing, and after having a total blast in the studio, I thought, you know what, it'd be really cool to do music, so here we are now.
And you guys just released this summer your debut EP, Enemies of the State. Tell us a little bit about what that was like for you to be in the recording studio. I mean, obviously that's where it all sort of started for you, but now you're making your own EP. That had to be a totally different experience.
When I was told, we're going to go to the recording, it's like, oh, cool, I'm happy, but I'm kind of nervous. So, after the recording process was awesome. Let me assure you, if you never listened to the EP at alarmforwar.com, everything was done perfectly. There in the studio, there was no, "Oh, that was pretty good, you were on key, we'll just keep it." It was, no, you have to make it perfect. Everything on that EP was done top-notch. We got Grammy Award winners helping around the project and stuff like that.
Yeah, you guys did an excellent job on the EP and everything. And as you said, you worked with some truly amazing people on this record. Do you feel like you learned a lot from them?
Yeah, as far as, if you're trying to say as far as the studio, learning a lot in the studio was really cool. Yeah, so I for sure, like I said, didn't know what to expect, but after being in the studio, you have the experience of saying you've done that, you know what it's like, you know what they're going to tell you to do it again and stuff like that.
Right. I was just saying you worked with some truly amazing people, and usually when you're in the studio, you sort of pick up on a lot of what their magic that they've used over the years, so you can sort of take it with you for your next projects.
Well, yeah, we're very, very fortunate indeed to have those Grammy Award-winning producers. It's just awesome. It's like, not every day you're gonna meet with a Grammy Award winner that did this and that, and he's gonna be helping you with your album. So I thought, it's just pretty cool. and we're pretty fortunate over here to be, have those guys working on the project with us.
Right, and you got a great band behind you. When you guys put these songs together, how did that songwriting process work? I mean, were you sort of the lyricist? Did you come up with the melodies? Who else was in on the writing process with you?
Basically, the band literally put all the stuff together musically, and then after that, it was just a vocalist. So after that, we just needed the vocals in there. So the musically was done. That was all in the band. And as far as the lyrics go, it was kind of the whole band, coming together to help put the lyrics together. So like we planned on doing this, the songwriting, and then we get in the studio, we kind of take that out, let's add this, stuff like that.
Well, you told us sort of the story about the single there, Day Turned to Night. Tell us a little bit about some of the other lyrical content on the album. What message did you want to get out there besides hope for youth and everything?
Yeah, well, it kind of explained how I said earlier, just Day Turned to Night. It was about another kid on Day Turned to Night. His name was Scott, and he was drinking and driving, and he ended up dying. So, in other words, we're just here telling the young people that drugs and alcohol is not that you don't have to do that kind of stuff. Or like I said earlier, spreading the positive message. I'm not going into it, but as far as the some of the other bands out there that kind of promoting a very negative message, and that's rubbing off, that can rub off on the young people and stuff like that. So like I said earlier, as musicians, it feels our job to give them, the positive message of hope and truth. So the other is just kind of all the other songs kind of just dangle around that, just making sure that the youth are taught the right thing and stuff like that. So like I'll tell you a little bit about Love and Not Hate if I can.
Absolutely.
So basically, Love and Not Hate is basically let me ask you a question, Anthony. So if you're seeing a kid playing in the street, would it be love to just smile at him and not say anything when you see there's a car coming, or would it be love to tell him to get out of the street? So that's kind of what we're doing, just basically warning them with love and getting in their face and telling them the message, of what I said earlier. So that's kind of how the whole lyrics came around that.
And I noticed there are a lot of references to God and faith and whatnot in the lyrics. Do you guys see yourself as sort of a Christian band, or is that just such an aspect of who you are, it just is sort of there regardless?
We are a Christian band, but we're the real deal Christian band. If you listen to an average Christian band, you're probably going to think, I don't like those guys. But, as far as we just got a comment on YouTube, because, of the cheesiness and stuff. So we just got a comment on YouTube saying, as far as being a Christian band, which is usually a turnoff for me, I was very surprised at how much I like this band. So we are a hardcore, real deal Christian band getting in your face the message. So, yep.
Nice. So when you're not making music and doing all the stuff that a 13-year-old would normally do, like school and whatnot, what else are you into that you're passionate about, or hobbies that people might be surprised about?
Well, you know what? As far as a lot of times today, young people, I've just noticed a lot just by, kind of going around places. It's just like young people are always, on their video games, something like that. So I'm very passionate about, staying in the homework. I'm actually homeschooled. So, I really like doing homework and learning something. So as far as the young people, it's like, you know what, guys? Let's pick up a book. Let's learn something. Let's not constantly be on these, video games and stuff like that. So as far as being passionate, I'm a big fan of doing your homework and making sure you're smart.
Nice. So, well, that'll circle us back to our last question then, because being 13, a teenager, a lot of the stuff that we see nowadays is everybody's constantly got their phone in their hand, taking selfies. They can't stop playing on the phone to have a conversation with friends. And it's even been said that they can't have relationships with people because they just don't know how to communicate when it's not through technology. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, exactly, texting.
We've become a Facebook world,
Like I said, I've seen an article once just about, young people on their phones. It's like, you know what, guys, I'm on my phone when I need to be on my phone, posting and stuff like that. But, other than that, I'm not constantly on my phone and stuff like that. You don't need to be constantly on your phone as far as the technology. Even, someone that I know, she's like, kids are constantly on their phones. I've even seen things where families can't even come together because, have a conversation without, someone grabbing their phone and texting. So I believe in picking up a book and learning something rather than not always being on your phone, if that answers your question.
Absolutely. Buggy, Alarm for War, the debut EP, Enemies of the State, out now, getting ready to hit the road for Make America Rock again here shortly. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to chat with us, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much, Rustin. Totally appreciate it, man.